trouble. Hey, you already know we right here at Words Decided to hop on top of the individuals who was the talk of town. It's going down. The word of the curve. You heard me. Set this up real quick. Now, just a reminder that I did drop a new battle rap reaction on my other channel. If you guys want to scope that out, North versus South, test of skills on the mic. As you do that, and I dropped a mix of freestyles if you guys want to scope that out. And on this channel, the G series is back, so I did upload the one of the G series about yesterday, or the day before yesterday. So it is back now on this channel. You guys can scope it out. I'll be dropping a new one tomorrow. Yeah, probably tomorrow. It's like about 50% done, but I think I'll be able to get it done by tomorrow. Now that, we're not experts, but now that we, más o menos know our way around how to, do all of it, now I don't have to rely on people. Unless, and something ends up happening where I don't know. But I think I seem to have gotten it down. Mr. Pop is definitely up in the casa for the raza. ¿Qué onda, carnal? Que sea buena vida. How's your Tuesday going? How's your New Year's Eve going? Got off work? Orale, that's right, my boy. I feel you. We still got another 4 hours to go. So todavía nos falta. Ni modos. And then tomorrow, I gotta come in early too. So, valiendo shit. Early and stay late, so. But at least there's hours. It just work. It's because apparently a lot of people have already called off for tomorrow. So, we're gonna be missing like a few dozen workers for whatever reasons. Somehow everybody always seems to get sick, during the holidays. Like it's New Year's Day or Christmas Day, and somehow everybody gets sick. Like pinches liars. Fuck it, if they won't take the feria, we'll take it. Shit. ¿Qué no? Al cabo, los parties todavía no termina con. You know what I mean? You can still party after work. Or night owls, anyways. We're not. Yeah, facts, bro. But hey, some of these people have it lovely though. Viven con mama y papa, so no, para ellos no se tienen que evitar. You know what I mean? No pagan renta. ¿Tú crees que van a estar estresados si no pagan renta? Little Toro came from a good family, but he still fell for the cholo bullshit. Well, how do you know that he's from a good family, though? Like, people don't truly know. Like, just because you have, like, your parents and your, like, let's see, they have a house and they have both parents. That doesn't mean that they come from a good home, though. Look at these celebrities, right? Celebrities, rappers, politicians, these famous people, right? Who have all this money and have big ass homes, but yet their kids turn out to be, alcoholic, drug addicts, and there's a dysfunction in the family and all this chaos, but yet, they're rich and, but like I said, people don't truly know, what happens behind closed doors. Just because somebody has, people there doesn't necessarily mean that they have a good connection, a good bond, or that everything's peaches and cream. Their family have money. Yeah, but see, money doesn't fix the problems though. Like money is not the answer though. Like just because somebody has money doesn't mean that they're gonna turn out to be a-okay, right? As a matter of fact, money could bring more problems, right? It could bring more neglection. It could bring more resentment. It could build up a whole lot of other stuff. You know what I mean? Let's say if the family has money, but the parents are always at work and they don't pay attention to the kid, never spend time with the kid's gonna feel some type of way. You get what I'm saying? Because that's still a form of trauma and neglect. Not, money isn't everything, pues. There's more important things in life than that. Carl Jr. looks. Carl Jr. took a while to get EBT. Some Mexican American are lagging. Serio? I could have sworn they took EBT since the beginning. Shit, even the loncheras take EBT now, my boy. Hasta los paleteros. They had that thing where you could scan your card through the phone. They had the phone thing. Se pasan de verga, ¿no? If I press for wearing my Picasso hat in East Los while being Salvi, I just say, please refer to the channel. Yeah, serio. Nah, nobody gets pressed for wearing those kind of hats, bro. Or for being Salvi wearing those hats. No one's even gonna know. How are they gonna know you're Salvi? You can't tell that somebody's Salvi. People right here ain't paying attention to that kind of stuff. People think people pay attention to that, so there's not real people pay attention. His mom said had money. His dad was a cholo. His mom was daddy. It happens sometimes, like you can't help who people end up falling in love with, though. My name is. Nice try. I think Beach City cholos are fake. I think Beach City cholos are fake. What does that mean? Beach cholos, like people that live near the coastline, like coastline cities. Why would they be fake? What does the beaches have anything to do with if somebody's a cholo or not, though? Just saying, but hopefully no one trips. Nah, nah. People don't trip like. I think people get a bad idea of how or what these individuals trip on. I think people exaggerate on like people pressing people type of thought when it comes to the areas. A lot of the stuff people just create themselves. Like a lot of the paranoia that happens about how people think about the streets down here is they created them. They created themselves though. You live in the beach city 805 something. Are you saying that because of dubs? Nah, but living in a big city has nothing to do with being a fake. Like I said, the areas themselves don't mean nothing. Like that don't make the G's, right? An area could look nice doesn't mean that it is nice. You see these big ass homes with like these mansion homes and families seem love, and then next there's a mass murder, right? The fucking son murders his whole entire family. And people were like, I would have never suspected, but you'll be surprised how many times that has happened. A lot actually, right? Like I said, money, the area doesn't necessarily mean that people are safe and that shit can't happen. Because if there's a bad apple within there, bro, that bad apple could do a whole lot of shit. Legend Media and Bobby A. Who's Bobby A? Is Khaled Legend Media? Is he the older guy from Maravilla, or is it the one that's like the guy that lives in Seattle, Utah? One of those. Because one of them have similar names. Some of them have similar names. I don't know. Too expensive to live near Beach City. No, yeah, it is expensive, but like I said, just because those people have money doesn't really mean that their families are structured, though. Some people have to, literally parents have to be all day at work. So who's left to raise the kid, right? The kid's gonna feel some type of way, right? His parents never being able to bond and connect with his parents, right? It's gonna create some type of resentment, like I said, and they're gonna look to be guided somewhere else there, as a kid, the way it is. They look for guidance, right? And if no one's at home to give it, they're gonna find it somewhere else. I heard Oxnard gets cracking also. I'm like Santa Maria. Well, I mean, any city could get cracking. You know what I mean? Like cities, they have their nice areas and they have their bad areas to them. Where like when some people be like, "No, I actually been to that city. That city is actually nice." Like, no, well, there's like cities have nice parts to them. Then it also could have its ugly parts to it too, though. The areas are nice. No, they are nice. Shadow Lug, the number one Chicano rapper in the Pacific, to be specific. It's Little Rob. That's one of Little Rob's favorite lines. ¿Qué onda, my boy? And yes, I am proud to be Chicano. I don't know why some of these rappers be like these Chicano rappers. That's one thing that's a trip to me. These Chicano rappers that say that they don't like to be called Chicano rap, they don't want to be put in Chicano rap category. It's so stupid to me. It's like, so let me get this straight. So you're offended or you feel insulted by being called Chicano rap. You feel like that's something that's beneath you, right? But then again, at the same time, you're proud to be Chicano and defending, to be Chicano. But when it comes to the music, you're not. You know what I mean? It's so stupid. That doesn't even make any sense. It's like, which one is it, bro? Are you proud to be Chicano or you hate being called Chicano? Because you can't have it both ways. Because that's literally how they play it. But it seems to me that the Chicano actually has a price tag to it. I'm proud to be Chicano, but if I can't get a bigger rap contract and let's like disown my ethnicity, then then I will rather not be Chicano if I'm could get paid more. Also, it has a price to it, huh? There you go. That's the spirit. I live 1 or 2 blocks away. MC4 Zeros, I remember you from a location, so that lets me know. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, I know exactly where that's at. It's actually not far from where I'm at right now, because I'm literally close to the iconic bridge where in the movie Colors, where they pass by and they see the guys from Wifens and they're like, "Have you guys seen any gangsters around?" Nah, we ain't seen no gangsters around. Yeah, I'm close to that. I could literally probably walk to it. Don't fall for it, Shadow Low. Stay away from the YouTube. Get yard. Nah, bro. Yeah. I don't do the yard. I don't do the YouTube yard that stuff. I get it though. It's a parody. It's a joke, right? It's not a real thing. These individuals don't take it as a real thing, right? But um, yeah. But I see the conflict between individuals. I see the back and forth though. Um, the trip, especially as of recently from Chemo Flicks, I've been seeing Dubs. Dubs has damn. What's going on with Dubs? He's like having a breakdown. The videos that I see from Chemo Flicks, my guy's going through some hard times. It looks like the internet's finally getting to him. I don't know why he cares so much. It's a trip. I don't know why he lets it get to him so much. He's like devastated, like if it's actually like gospel. Like, bro, do you not know that this world does not really exist, bro? Meaning the internet. You don't hear too much about Beach City Cholo wise. Mm, it depends, cause down here you hear a lot about like Santa Monica, Venice. You hear that area cracking a lot. They have a high crime rate and a high homeless rate too, and junkies. It's hard getting a job. Agency be calling 30 minutes before starting a job. Oh. Well, no, if you look, there's a lot of places that are hiring, but here's the thing though, there's people are picky with the jobs though. Like people gonna work at places, but the way I see it is like, let's say if you don't have a job, you apply like anywhere that you see, just apply to it. Whether it's a fast food restaurant or a janitor, it doesn't matter, right? And you get that job, and no one's saying that you have to stay at that job and die at that job, and that has to be your fucking career for the rest of your life. But you get that job and you keep looking. So you get that job and you also keep looking for a better jale, right? That way, while you still keep looking, you're getting a paycheck at least. At least you're getting paid while you keep looking. You know what I mean? Instead of being at home and not getting shit, while you're looking. At least this way, you're getting paid while you look. And then when you find something better, then you leave that jale for the better job. You know, at least that way you're putting money in your pockets. But people are too concerned about what people might think about them or say about them, or like, oh, you work there, do that. Who gives a fuck, bro? You need feria right now, homie. These people ain't gonna pay your bills. These people ain't gonna pay you. They ain't gonna put money in your pockets. Que les valga. You know what I mean? You gotta look after yourself. Can't be worried about what people might say and think about you. Like, why are you so concerned about their opinions? Right? You should be concerned more about yours. Fuck theirs. That's just real talk. Santa Cruz and Beach City, then upstate story. Yeah, I heard, but there's Northerners there too. Thoughts on Texas Chicanos referring themselves as Tejanos instead of Mexican American or Cholo. Well, they're gonna be proud to be Tejano. Look, keep in mind that when it comes to this whole Chicano, Pachuco, Mexican American type of lifestyle, Texas has a big part to play in that role. They are a big part in that movement, and that. I get it that people often think about California, but Texas also plays a big role. They're just as important to this story as California, if not even probably even more. Do we consider Salvis or Chicano? I do. I consider everybody that speaks Spanish raza. They were part of. Well, they still are our people. Because like I said, remember, these lines were drawn. They're not real lines. Like if you go to the borders, those borders are not real. Like like those lines were drawn when people didn't like the way the establishment was being run, right, and decided to run their own government. They created their own way of doing things, and that's what created those borders and separated people. And then as time went by, people almost lost their history or don't pay attention, and then consider them as different than us. But we were all one people. And like it's a trip because like you only hear it on the internet, right? But like let's say you're growing up in the ghettos and the barrios and stuff like that. But like all the homies are considered Chicano. Have homies Chicano that have it tattooed on them that are Asians, like Filipino, black, white, right? But we refer to them as Chicanos. They have Chicano power tattooed on them, right? And nobody has ever once told them they're not Chicano. And when I was busted, nobody ever told like the white homies, the black homies, the Asian. No one ever told them, "Hey, you're not Chicano, homie." Nobody ever said that, bro. Nobody. I never heard that, not even once, bro. But I hop on the internet and then I see all these people, like trying to regulate and shit like that. And I'm just like in the real world, and when you're mingling around real people, you never hear conversations. You never see that kind of fucking talk. You know what I mean? It's only talk that you hear on the internet, bro. And I'm just keeping that shit 100. Job agencies be doing us dirty. These by not. That's a payroll system. Yeah, I mean that's the reason why these companies choose to go through the job agencies, though. That way they just have these workers until they're not needed no more, and then they just cut them loose without having to worry about um, getting sued and shit like that. Hey, greed is a real thing. Yeah, let all these places know that not all us Mexicans are. He's down the street, Look. I'm on Indiana at 4th Street right now. Oh, yeah, you are. You're close to where I'm at, yeah. Yeah, because I work right here in Boyle Heights. What happened to him? He was today dubs and oh, I had seen that video. That was one of the craziest videos I had seen on here, bro. No lie. I seen it on. I think Chemo Flix was the one that put it up, right? But my boy was tripping though, bro. Like that. Yeah, that was not smart at all. That was not smart at all. That was very reckless of him. He could have gotten his house raided and arrested and all kinds of shit, bro. Like you just don't do that, bro. You got to be smarter than that. You know. I get it that some people get aggravated with some of the things that people they see on here, right, and stuff like that. Um, but you should never let these people's antics push you to the point where you're incriminating yourself, right? Making a threat on somebody's life while you know showing a firearm. That is not smart, especially if you're a felon, especially if you hang around hooligans. Your answer should always be when people ask you like, "Oh, what you want a gun?" Fuck no, I don't even know what guns are. I don't even look like I never owned a gun a day in my life. I don't even violence. That's what you're supposed to say. You're not supposed to tell these people, incriminating yourself, saying that you have a gun when you're a felon, bro. They could just report your stupid ass, or brandishing it on live. Like, oh, you're supposed to say you don't do crime, you don't believe in violence, and you never owned a firearm, and you don't even like firearms. You're allergic to them. As a matter of fact, they give you rashes. That's what you're supposed to say. But no, people want to be seen as tough on here, bro. They want to be seen as tough guys, big and bad. Huh? Por pendejo, pues, ¿saben? Because that's not down, bro. That is the most stupidest, reckless thing you can do. And goes to show that you know nothing about the streets or the criminal life. Because if you did, you wouldn't be acting so stupid. Let the people think whatever the fuck they want about you. They're gonna think about they're gonna think whatever they want about you regardless, right? Whether if you even bring proof. So why even argue? As long as you know who you are and the people you associate with yourself and the real world know who you are and what you're about, that's all that matters. Everything else is irrelevant, my guy. Irrelevant. But no, people's insecurities have them running wild down here, bro. It's crazy. Real tough guys don't have to come on the internet to try to convince the audience that they're tough guys, bro. That is called insecurity. That's why I say some people want your Melcarritos. So some people are like on both sides of here saying lefty isn't raza because he's half Guatemala. That is so stupid, bro. Yeah, that is dumb. That is the dumbest thing I ever heard. But like I said, you hear that on the internet a lot, though. You really don't hear about that in person. You know what I mean? Like I guarantee you, his homies that he hangs around with that are from his barrio have never once told him that he isn't Chicano or that he's not Chicano. You know what I mean? Like I said, when somebody like let's say they dislike somebody, they're gonna find any little reason try to discredit them or try to play them. You know what I mean? Because they dislike the individual. But you got to keep that shit 100, bro. Whether you like the person or not, you can't be. You can't also be, telling lies on them either, though. If our guy took a pic, what else? Boy, yeah, he still does not. What? What up? What, the high power fitness guy, that fool is a fence walker. That is half white also. Oh, he's half white and Guatemalan. Then you mean? Is he? Shit, I didn't even know that. I mean, he is light as hell though. Yeah, all you hear is about bums. Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah, I know. Because when I go there, I see a lot of homeless, bro. A lot, a lot. Probably the most is in Santa Monica and in Venice too. Redondo has them, but not as many though. They probably have the fewest. That's why I prefer going to Redondo. Bums took over San Diego. Well, you see bums everywhere though. That's why I always say easier to look for a job with a job. I remember I spent a while looking for a job. Finally got one. Suddenly, everyone wanted to hire me after. Funny how that works, huh? Nah, but that's what I be telling people. Like, too many people are concerned about. Like, I be telling people, hey, right here they're hiring right. I don't want to work at McDonald's. Fuck that. Like, what? You don't have a job, my boy. You don't have a choice right now. Like, what kind of shit is that, bro? Nah, because then people are gonna clown. Who gives a fuck? You're not in high school no more, my guy. You're a grown adult. Grow the fuck up already, bro. You are not 9 years old. You're not 10 years old to be worried about fucking stupid ass jokes. Shit. That is crazy, bro. They acting like if they're still in high school. Who gives a fuck if they clown on you, bro? Like so when people come on here, they say like, "Oh, you sound gay, you talk gay, you're gay." I am not 9 years old. I don't care, bro. I don't care. Maybe if I was a third grader, that joke would have been funny and I probably would have cared. I don't care, bro. Not a little kid no more, bro. You know, like, well, we're making gay jokes right now. Like, how old are you, my guy? Grow up. You know what I mean? What kind of shit is that? Se pasa de verga la gente, I swear. Their priorities are like all fucked up. It's a trip. It's almost as dumb as like when people you're arguing with somebody or debating somebody, they come out, well, why make more money than you? What? Who gives a fuck, bro? No one's talking about bank accounts right here, bro. We're talking about a whole entire different subject that has nothing to do with money, right? What is you making more money than me have anything to do with what we're discussing right here, right? You can't just not say that and all of a sudden the argument goes your way or all of a sudden, my debate is invalid. People throw nonsense titles out there like that's supposed to mean something. Hyper. Oh, I probably took a foot away, Ronnie. Yeah, he still does. Oh, he defends up. That's a trip. I don't know. I didn't get a job because I was wearing baggy jeans. I thought I was. Yeah, that's dumb. I watched those videos, but not the lives. He gets too drunk. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. I mean, like people, they watch his content. People enjoy his content. That's what it is, bro. I personally don't watch his content, but like I said, like people could watch whatever the fuck they want, especially if they're not gang related, because none of that shit should really matter to them. Oh, okay, all right. What's crazy like in Rogelio? Shout out to the tiny boys. I don't think they consider themselves Chicanos. I think that they're no. There's individuals that are Salvis, that are Hondurans that consider themselves Chicanos. Not to say that the whole entire like ethnicity, whatever the fuck, right? But at least there's some individuals that do see themselves like that. Same with white and black. He said I only like real lines. Sugar. It's always a. Ever watch Cheech and Chong? Oh yeah, bro. Up in Smoke. Hell yeah. There ain't too many Salvis. Shadow, do you know Salvis are white? Race wise. Well, they say that about us too. They say that we're trying to be white, that we want to be white. American Joe, he's a Hillary Trump supporter because he is a white man. Yeah. Well, just because he goes for Trump, that doesn't automatically mean that he's a white, or he's trying to be white or some stuff like that. I think that's people saying that because they don't like who he voted for. You know what I mean? So, our male versions of us. I got a lightsaber, no guns. Eso es todo. crossbow? Got ninja stars? Imagine rolling up the ops, bro, y te sacan un crossbow. Like, vergas. She'll be gangsta, huh? You roll up to somebody and you think they're gonna pull out a pistol, but they pull out nunchucks? Like, like what the fuck? Pupusas are good though. We'll never feel less than 100. Yeah, we're all one people though. Like we're all really one people, bro. We're all one people. Whether you want to say you're Mexican, at the end of the day, we all were one people, bro. Before lines were drawn, we were all one people. Okay? You know, before there was even considered a Central America or South America or all these lines, it was all considered the Mexican Empire. There was all the same indigenous people, right? But the way things were starting to get governed, people like it, right? They felt like they were getting the shorter end of the stick, so they started breaking off and creating their own governments, drawing their own borders, and that is how we got the divide between everybody. But everybody used to be the same people, though. And that is a fact. That is history. You can't argue with the facts in history. I mean, you could, but I mean, it wouldn't be smart. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my lunch break is over. We get back to it. It was good chopping it up with you guys, and we out.